Hey, what's up guys? How's everybody doing today? So I got a chance to go out and see a little movie that is simply titled Kin. And this is one of those movies where I went in completely blind, didn't see a trailer, nothing. Which is the best way to see a movie, by the way. And if you'll permit me a food analogy, I would say this movie is pretty fucking delicious, but it was noticeably undercooked. The basic plot of the movie revolves around two brothers. The young teenager who hangs out at abandoned buildings a lot finds some weird technology that is super advanced, possibly alien, not sure what to make of it. Meanwhile, the older brother gets into a little bit of trouble, owes somebody a lot of money, and it kind of forces the two of them to go on a little road trip. And as weird as all that sounds, that's all I'm going to tell you about the plot because I'm actually going to really recommend that people go out and see this movie, despite the fact that it's not great, because I felt very similarly about another movie that came out last year called Slight, in that it was a pretty cool concept that felt really interesting and engaging, but for some reason it just didn't totally gel properly, and this is probably not the best medium that this particular story should have taken place in, because this movie did feel like about an hour and 40 minutes of playing a little game called Just the Tip. But however, the movie was actually really well executed, surprisingly. The acting performances were not bad at all. The two brothers did pretty well. James Franco and Dennis Quaid actually did very good in my opinion, and Zoe Kravitz's fine looking ass just happens to be in this movie. And while her performance actually wasn't really that great, she actually did way better than the vast majority of other things that I've seen her in, so I was pretty pleased with it. Also, the soundtrack. All done by this little band called Mogwai, who are fucking amazing, and if you don't know who they are, you should Google them. And if you don't like them, you can pretty much piss up a rope in my opinion, because they're one of the best instrumental bands out there right now. And again, surprisingly, the movie did not overreach at all when it came to the visual effects. No visual effects looked out of place or poorly done or anything like that. Like, they did a really good job, surprisingly, with what little they had to work with. And the ending was cool, but I just had so many questions because this was a much broader concept than they could have put into just one movie. Like, this movie felt like the first two, maybe three episodes of a Netflix series, or maybe it could have worked better as a book because it gets like tonally a little bit weird and the pacing is kind of funky. And there's a scene that takes place in a setting that no accompanied or unaccompanied minor would ever be allowed ever under any circumstances. Like, they could have changed up the setting just a little bit to make it a little bit more agreeable. But still, this movie is like two very different concepts that they tried to put together, and I wasn't upset after I left the movie. I actually left the theater feeling really refreshed because I really wanted to see more of this, but I feel like it was a little bit of a cock tease still. So I think overall, for a score out of 10, I think I'm going to give it a straight 7.0. It was really interesting. It's not a pairing of two different ideas that you would really expect in a movie, but I still think it probably would have worked as a TV show or maybe even like a graphic novel series. Either way, it's definitely worth the price of admission. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you heard of this movie? Have you seen it? Hop in the comments. Let me know what's up. And as always, if you like this review, give me a like, subscribe to all that other bullshit that makes the channel look good, and I will catch you guys later.